What's up guys, happy Sunday, welcome back to my channel, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone's had a lovely week and has got something wonderful planned for the weekend. Today, we're not gonna have a moaning day, we're just gonna talk about all the things that I wish I would have known before having a baby. The top 10 things that I feel like would have made my life easier as a new mum, even as a second time round mum if I never experienced them the first time round, because they seem so basic, but when you go through them, it's not fun and it's not easy. There's a few bits in here which are what I think are really good little nuggets of information, little nuggets of gold that will hopefully really help you in your motherhood journey, because they have helped me. And there's a few bits which is just like, you know what, just be aware that this is really, be aware. Also, side note, I went to the doctor's today in the mall, and it's always dangerous because you pass the shops on the way in and you pass them on the way out. Anyway, I walked past this jumper which is from American Vintage, and I just went and bought it because I love the colour, I love it soft. Everyone knows, if you've been following my channel for a while and you looked at my hospital must-haves, for me everything was about how soft it was. So yeah, excited to be wearing my new jumper for you guys, American Vintage. Please remember to hit subscribe if you want to see more videos. I post every single Sunday all about mummy, baby things, and there's also one other series that I'm going to be doing very shortly because I have some super exciting news which I'm going to share with you guys very soon. But without further ado, let's dive into this week's video, which is 10 things I really wish I would have known prior to having a baby. Number 1, breastfeeding. Oh my word, it is so hard. It is so hard. And to the women that just pop them on the boob and it's all so easy, I mean, I'm jealous. Well done to your boobs, well done to your baby. It is so hard, and I thought I'd be one of those women. I thought I'd be one of those women that just rocked into motherhood, popped my baby on my boob, he fed away, he was super happy. That was not the case at all. And as you guys know or may not know, I'm now exclusively pumping and feeding Alfie via expressed breast milk via a bottle, and it's just a personal choice I've made, and it's made my life so much easier. Yes, getting down to pump in the morning at 1 a.m, 4 a.m, or like 3-hour shifts, however it works out during the day, is tough work and it can make you extremely tired, but you're kind of getting up to do that anyway, whether you're breastfeeding or not. Obviously you have to worry about sort of sterilizing bottles and sterilizing your breast pump and all the rest of it. And for sure it has its disadvantages. If you can put them straight on the boob, then please do that. Just feel like more mummies need to be told that it's okay to chop and change it however suits you best. There is this stigma, there is this pressure around needing to be that mum that just feeds straight from the boob. I certainly felt it, but there were a few tears and a few sad moments where I kind of looked at Jack and I said, you know, are you disappointed that I'm feeding him from the bottle? Because you feel like you failed a little bit in a way. I certainly felt like that at the start, and you know what, now I've just had a total mind shift to say my baby is being fed and that is what is most important. But I'm able to give him my breast milk, I'm able to express and try and keep that supply up with some handy tips which I'm going to share with you now with certain products. But yeah, I wish just somebody had just said, look, it's really hard, don't put any pressure on yourself, and whilst there may be advantages and disadvantages to both, just do what suits you best. In addition to that, I'm not just going to leave it as a moany breastfeeding's hard. I actually want to give you some actionable advice and tips, because I did not realize how much your nutrition affects your milk supply. Not only just your milk supply, but the quality of your milk. When I started expressing full time, obviously you become a lot more aware of your milk. You become aware when it's more watery, when it's more creamy, which is your hind milk, which is the more fatty milk. And for a few days I was getting quite watery milk and my supply dipped, and I kind of freaked out and I was like, oh my gosh, my supply's going and I'm not going to be able to breastfeed and all the rest of it. And we spoke with a number of people, and then it kind of really hit home how important nutrition was. So nice little tip of some products that have been really useful. You guys are probably well aware of these two ingredients. They're pretty common day to day now, but chia seeds and flax seeds are really good. I've just popped them in my morning protein smoothie every single day, and I wasn't using these before, so I'll do a scoop of flax seeds, a scoop of chia seeds, a scoop of oats, and that just really helps to boost your fiber. It really helps to boost genuine calorie intake, because you need to make sure you're having enough calories. And then there were a few other things which I'm taking. So this is moringa powder. Apparently it's really good to increase milk supply, as well as mother's milk tea. So these 4 things, the mother's milk tea is downstairs, sorry, I'm adding into my daily diet, and I do really feel like my milk supply has picked back up once I started making sure I was having enough calories and making sure I was having enough of the right foods. So yeah, I wish somebody told me that. I just saw breastfeeding as, this is great, I get to burn an extra 500 calories a day doing breastfeeding, but what you forget is, oh no, you actually have to eat those calories in order to make sure that your baby's getting the milk that it needs. Which brings me on to number 2. So everyone said to me, breastfeeding is brilliant. It's gonna make you lose so much weight. It snaps your belly right back into a flat belly. Let me tell you, it does not. Because if you're breastfeeding, as I just said, you need to have enough calories in order to keep that all up. And my belly has not snapped back into where it was before. It's just not. And you know what? I feel as though I went into breastfeeding with this false sense of security that breastfeeding would be able to replace exercise at the start. It would be able to kind of cancel out all the pizzas or chocolate or sweets I was having because you don't have time to cook, and so takeaway so easy and you're constantly reaching for that sugar. I feel as though I was lured into this false sense of security that breastfeeding was this cheat way to snap your body back into place, and it doesn't. So you know what, go into breastfeeding, go into having a baby with the awareness that for the first 6 months at least, obviously longer if you choose to breastfeed for longer, but for the first 3 to 6 months, if you are choosing to breastfeed, just know that you can definitely put in all the goodness into your body, and by all means do what I'm doing, which is starting back training to get back my strength and to get back my muscle tone, which I've lost a lot over the last 3 months. But do not put the pressure on yourself to get back to a certain size or get back to a certain fat loss, because as we all know, you can't actually lose fat unless you are in a calorie deficit. Before you all jump at me, I'm fully well aware that the quality of our calories is far more important than the quantity, but at a very basic biological level, in very, very, very simple terms, you do need to be in a calorie deficit. So just don't worry about it. Don't be lured into that false sense of security that breastfeeding is the fast ticket, because then you might feel disappointment, and just give yourself the time to relax and breastfeed, and then you can start thinking about getting back to a certain size or getting back to a certain shape if that's what you want after that's done, because it's just too difficult to do it all at once. And I had a few weeks of tugging with myself back and forth with that, and it didn't get me anywhere. So now I'm just zen, and it's really helped my mindset. So yeah, I wish somebody had told me that, or rather not told me that breastfeeding was this cure for everything. Number 3, I'm just gonna put it out there, guys, you're gonna pee. You're gonna pee not when you're going to the toilet. You're gonna pee when you sneeze, you're gonna pee when you cough, you're gonna pee when running to catch up with your husband who's gone off on the buggy, or running to get something and you'll suddenly realize, oh, my pelvic floor is not quite there. It is completely normal. When it first happened to me, I panicked and I was thinking, oh my gosh, my pelvic floor is not where it should be. And you know what? I was 2 weeks postpartum at that point, and the fact that that even worried me is not good. It's 100% important to be aware of your pelvic floor, to be doing your exercises. I'm seeing a women's health physio once to twice a week to make sure that I'm getting back my strength. But please don't be surprised by that, and please don't think that you're not normal, because you're completely normal, and you know, it happens to the best of us. That happens to most of us who carry a baby in our tummy for 9 months and then deliver it. So please don't feel that that is something to worry about. By all means work on it, but it's very normal. Number 4, there will never be a time, in my opinion, in my short 20, how old am I? 27 or 28? I think I'm 20. Baby brain at its finest. 27. I'm turning 28 in 15 days, so please be sure to send me a little happy birthday message on my Instagram right here. This one's really important to me. We were aware that before we had a baby there would be probably some stress on our relationship, as there is, I'm sure, with most first-time parents. And Jack and I even went on walks before when we spoke about, okay, what do you think are the bits that you'll struggle with the most? Where do you think you'll need the most support? And we really discussed it in detail, because The quality of my relationship is the most important thing to me, second or joined with how important Alfie is to me, because I think in order to be the best parent that you can be, you need to be, you know, happy in the environment that you're with, whether you are with a partner or you're doing it yourself, but you have a support system of friends and family around you. So please be aware that there will probably never be another time in your life that you need to be more understanding, more patient, more in love, more grateful. I think gratefulness is the key to every successful relationship. I think the minute that you stop being grateful for the person that you're with and the things that they do for you, in my opinion, that's when relationships start to fall apart. So to remind yourself the things that you're grateful for in your partner, the times they get up at 5 a.m. to do the feed, or they put a cup of tea down in front of you, or they cook dinner for the night. Any small thing should be said with a thank you. It should be recognized, it should be appreciated, because it makes that person feel like you're paying attention to the things that they're trying to do for you to make your life easier. And in return, it kind of starts to become this healthy circle where you'll start to want to do more stuff for them. But bottom line, having a baby is incredibly testing, even on what I think is a very solid relationship that I have with my husband, a very happy and solid one. But it has definitely been hard for us in the last 6 weeks, more than any other time in our relationship. So yeah, I think it's just important to go into it being aware that it might suck a little bit for the first few months. You know, you're probably not going to have too many cuddles, too much sex, too much, all the lovely things that you used to do. So have chats beforehand, see what their worry areas are, ask them the things that really make a difference to their life. Because if you have a great relationship, then it will be a really good, solid foundation to be the best mama and dada that you can be for your baby. And Alfie is now crying. I'm just gonna go check on him. All good. Number 5, postpartum bleeding. It goes on for a while, peeps. You have to wear a pretty heavy duty pad for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks is how long I wore mine for. So just be aware that that is completely normal. And the cramps also that you feel when you are breastfeeding is your uterus contracting. It's a little bit painful at times. In the first 2 weeks, that uterus contracting is uncomfortable. So don't be scared. It's totally normal and you're good. Are we on number 6? I think it's number 6. Number 6, I'm gonna touch on mastitis. It's painful, your boobs get red, you get hot, you get sweaty, you can feel like fever symptoms at night, your skin gets super sensitive. It is not fun at all. And I did all the courses. I did my breastfeeding workshop. I thought I had everything down, and I kind of didn't really pay too much attention to mastitis. I just didn't think it would happen to me, but it did. And I've had it a few times since, albeit I think in a relatively minor dosage. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Because I managed to kind of kick it after 1 to 2 days, but it is really uncomfortable, and you just need to make sure your immune system is working really well and you're doing everything for your tatas to make sure that they're not gonna get the clogged up ducts. So rather than just say mastitis is not fun, I wanted to give you some tips on things that I've since learned as to how to prevent mastitis. The biggest thing that I was not aware of in my first few weeks, which is what led to my mastitis case number 1, which is that when your boobs feel engorged and full during the night, if your baby doesn't want feeding, and bear in mind, Alfie wanted feeding all the time. So in my mind, I was like, this is not a case of my child under eating. This is just a case of really good milk supply, and this is obviously just what really good milk supply feels like. But when they are so engorged like that, I would leave them for maybe a few hours at night, sleep on them. A few days I would wake up and they were so painful and so rock hard. I should have expressed, I should have got rid of that milk, whichever way it was, just releasing some of that buildup. So whether you hand express or whether you get a proper full-on pump or whatever the case may be, or hopefully whenever your baby wants to feed, that's fine. But don't do what I did and let your boobs sit engorged, because they will lead to clogged up ducts and it's not fun at all. And then the other thing that was really helpful with mastitis or preventing mastitis is that when you're in a shower, run it really hot. It helps the milk flow, which is what I often do before my evening pump session now. And then massage your boobs. So massage your boobs, and then also you could use the back of a comb. That was a really good bit of advice my lactation consultant gave me. So you can use the back of a comb to really help smooth everything out, whether you have mastitis or just want to use this instead of your hands. It's a nice way to massage your boobs and kind of get full coverage. And then also there's a supplement that you can take, and I don't actually know if it's proven why this helps, but many people have said this supplement helps. Wait, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna show you, and I'm gonna give it a go. Lecithin. or whatever the case may be, this apparently really helps. So I am putting this into my shake now every single morning along with all my milk supply goodies. So not only am I increasing my milk supply, I'm also making sure, or trying to make sure, that it doesn't happen to me again. And I'm 7 weeks in and I've only just ordered this. So I wish I'd had that from the start. I wish I massaged my boobs every single day in the shower from the start. I wish I never let my boobs get engorged during the first few weeks, especially when the milk supply is like on the boobs. I hope that helps 1 or 2 people, and if it does, then success. Okay, number 7. I'm sorry if this sounds really basic. No one told me this. Actively put your baby to sleep. How simple does that sound? I mean, when I'm saying it, it sounds stupid, but we were taught loads of routines. We were taught the fact newborn babies sleep for 18 hours a day. So for the first 4 weeks, Jack and I just rolled with it. We just rolled with the fact that Alfie would just do what he wants to do very naturally. He would know when he wants to eat. He would know when he's tired and wants to sleep. But no, they don't. And it wasn't until somebody taught me that I need to actively put my child to sleep when I start seeing those tired cues that has just made everything so much different. When you start seeing the tired signs, you need to actively help your child to sleep. So you can use the 5 S's, which somebody taught me, which is swaddle, side, shush, swing, motion, and suck, so with a dummy. That leads me nicely on to number 8, which is when I mentioned sucking. Okay, the dummy, the pacifier. I thought it had such a stigma around using one, that you were kind of cheating or that you had failed in some way. That was ridiculous that I felt like that. Babies have a need for non-nutritional sucking. It's a natural reflex for them. And I have no idea why dummies have got such a bad rep. I know that they can go on into later in their life and not be great for their teeth, but I just feel like that's something you can worry about when you need to wean them off the dummy. You shouldn't make yourself suffer, or make Bubba suffer by not being able to have as much sucking as he or she needs, because you think it has a stigma around it, which is where I fell into that box. I felt like using the dummy at 4 weeks was really early, and that I was doing a bad job, and that I needed something extra to help soothe him. And it is completely natural, completely normal. The ones we find Alfie likes the most are the bibs dummies right now. So check out bibs, they're also really cute. I love the colors and the look of them and all the rest of it. Okay, so number 9, this is kind of similar to you need to actively put your child to bed, but it is that big buzzword of swaddling. So obviously we learn how to swaddle, we were taught swaddling, and I just thought it was kind of a nice to have thing. I didn't realize that actually, whilst very, very few babies don't like it, 99% of babies do very much like it, because they are your baby just literally outside your womb, and they're so used to being hugged up and nice and tight and not being able to move too much, and that is what the swaddle replicates. So I wish somebody had kind of said swaddling is not just a nice to have, it is something that you should really try and use as a helpful tool in your toolkit for your first, I don't know, whatever it is, 3-6 months. I'm not sure how long you're meant to swaddle for. I guess I need to research that part. It could help your baby sleep so much better. I know that when we started using swaddling with Alfie, that was our result. So just another thing that made him miss out on sleep, because I didn't think it was that important. I just popped him down, put a little blanket over him and thought, okay, great, he's warm and he's on a comfy surface. But no, he was hands going everywhere and all the rest of it. So use swaddling. Last but not least on our list is just, you know, a personal note from me, I think, and that is to go easy on yourself. So training and postpartum, getting back to that body is such a big thing, and don't get me wrong, I'm certainly in the category that I am about 4 to 5 kilos heavier than I was pre-pregnancy, and I'm really excited to get back to the shape that I was in beforehand, because I loved being healthy and in that shape and strong, and I'm starting my journey bit by bit. But I'm on week 7, and let me tell you something, without having a nanny or help or parents around because of the whole epidemic that's going on, I don't know how people have the time to do it. I honestly, when are you meant to work out? When they're sleeping, you are meant to be sleeping. Or for me, I was catching up on a little bit of work whenever I had the opportunity. I have many a time felt guilty and bad that I have not been going out there and actively doing something health-wise for my body. It has taken me just to pinch myself and say, stop. You brought a baby into the world and you are raising them and growing them and feeding them and being there for them, and that is what's important. Let's go easy on ourselves, because it is not easy to find the time to train and exercise in your first few months without help. And I know that you're obviously not meant to work out until you get the all clear from your doctor anyway, but it's not like, okay, 6 weeks hits and now I have all this time in the world to go work out because I've been cleared. I've been cleared for a week and I haven't had the time. So yeah, just please go easy on yourself, and please see this as a very short time in the rest of your glorious, very fulfilled, happy, healthy life with your family and your new bud that you have brought into this world, which is just the most amazing thing. And that's it, the 10 things that I wish somebody had told me before having a baby. So I hope a few of them might help some of you. Please do let me know your feedback. I'd love to hear which ones you think were most helpful. You can comment below or come and chat to me over on Instagram. I'll put my tag down here. So please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next Sunday. I'm always open to a video suggestions, so please feel free to let me know what kind of videos you want to see more of. Lots of love and see you next week.